What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition. Ramadan. See, I gotta say, religion is so far ahead of science when it comes to brain function and how the body works that they don't even realize how genius they were. Now you're seeing this huge movement towards intermittent fasting, long periods of fasting, autophagy, mental enlightenment, killing off dead cells or unneeded cells in the body, all through this process called autophagy, which when your body is fasting and basically it's not spending all that energy digesting stuff. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna go scavenge these cells, get rid of them, get rid of these unwanted cells, giving your brain the clarity to think and to just be in a state of enlightenment, right? That's the argument for fasting. And I like a lot of it. I like long-term fasts. And Ramadan is something that has been done for centuries, right? Ramadan is a very, very, very important part of the Muslim religion. Something that everybody does of post-pubescent age. Now, let me just go over some rules of fasting of Ramadan, and then I'll go into how to treat Ramadan if you want to still maintain athleticism, you want to still make gains, you want to still go to the gym. Because I got to be real, I have probably the biggest group of people outside of just standard Christian Americans from my followers or people who watch my stuff, I hate using the word followers, is Muslims. And I respect the heck out of the religion. Now, so essentially fasting, so the Prophet Muhammad said, whoever observes the fast during the month of Ramadan while believing in Allah and seeking his rewards will have his past sins forgiven. So if you look at it from a perspective of Catholicism, kind of like repenting or giving a confession. Fasting in the month of Ramadan is one of the main pillars of Islam. It is obligatory upon every sane, healthy Muslim who's reached puberty and is not traveling during the time of fasting. As for women, they must not fast if they are menstruating or having post-childbirth bleeding. They even thought of that. You know what I mean? Like they did their homework on this. So the essential elements of the fast, you must have the intention to fast before dawn every night during the month of Ramadan. The intention does not need to be spoken because in reality it's an act of the heart, which does not involve the tongue. Abstaining from acts to nullify the fast. The second essential element for your fast to be accepted is that you abstain from the acts that nullify the fast. How do you nullify the fast? You eat or drink intentionally. If you mistakenly eat, this is in there, you just continue to fast. So basically you're like, oops, I ate a piece of chocolate. My bad. But you didn't intentionally do it. I like that. Intentional vomiting, intentional sexual intercourse. Yeah, it's fine. You got work to do during the day. And of course, menstrual or childbirth bleeding. Actions that are permissible. You can take a shower. You can rinse your mouth and nose. Basically, you could taking injections. So bodybuilding is possible during Ramadan. So check it out, guys. Ramadan essentially is the act of a dry fast or a fast without water or food from essentially when the sun comes up to when it goes down. So in Illinois, that's around right now 5:30 a.m. to around 7 p.m. With so many people doing intermittent fasting and so many people doing one meal a day now, we've actually made it where it's not that far of a departure. So let's say you are a Muslim, or let's say you're just somebody who simply wants to do Ramadan and partake in it. One, to be able to empathize and feel what the Muslims feel and maybe get that sense of enlightenment. Or just because you think it'll be healthy, it'll help you lose weight. Now, if you're bodybuilding, if you're somebody looking to gain lean mass, which a lot of people who watch my stuff are. In fact, one of my good friends, Mo, who trains at Pro Boxing Fitness with me, he's Muslim. So he's going to obviously partake in Ramadan. So for him, it affects his training. So what do? Well, you can't eat or drink between the hours of essentially 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Let's just make it broad. So what do? Well, they do allow you to eat and drink past it. In fact, part of Ramadan is to have that feast after dusk, after the sun sets. So what you could do, and this is what I recommended before, is you get done with your fast. You know, you've had your holy day, you've said your prayers. You go and you have a meal. You have a pre-workout meal. I'm not saying eat so much that you can't work out like you would do in a normal Ramadan feast, but temper yourself. Have something healthy, something that fits within what you're allowed to eat during the holy month. Have something that fits your macros normally. You can still hit your normal macros. You know, it's essentially like doing a 1 meal a day, except the only thing I find an issue with is no water. That's going to be a bit tough because when you train, you get thirstier. So, sun goes down, it's 8 p.m. Have a meal. For me, someone who doesn't know much about the laws of, you know, halal and all that, for me, I'd have something with the macros like an outright bar or even a meal. Like all this time you've gone without food, you could even have a meal, like have a normal meal. Have a meal with mixed macronutrients. You haven't eaten all day. Anything will benefit you. After you've had that meal, go work out. Okay, by that time you've had a meal, digested, you're working out by essentially 9:30 or 10 p.m. Have a big post-workout feast, you're in bed by midnight. There you go. Depending on when you have to wake up the next morning, you know, for work, I would wake up a bit early. Now, if you really want to be serious about it, you wake up before the sun comes up. You wake up at dawn or before dawn. You have a big breakfast. You drink as much liquid as you can safely, and you get on with your day. So essentially, there's no reason why you can't have Ramadan and still reach your health and fitness goals. There's no reason at all. I wouldn't exercise strenuously during the fasting period. Even fasting experts like Dr. Jason Fung, et cetera, don't recommend doing strenuous activity. And this is a fast that allows water. My main concern is not the food. Your body has enough fat in its system. You've stored enough fat during the year. I might not have, but a lot of you have. My body fat just won't go up. Not complaining, just saying I'm a lean individual. For me, it would suck. But the only concern I have is water. You know, if you do strenuous activity, you don't drink water, I don't see that being safe. Some people will argue with me that your body can blah, 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 blah. Look, from my perspective, that's the only issue. So I would avoid all strenuous activity, maybe go on a walk here or there, whatever. But I would avoid all strenuous activity until you're able to drink water and until you've broken that fast. But there's no reason why you can't still maintain your health and fitness lifestyle while celebrating the awesome month of Ramadan. Now, every time I do videos like this, I feel I need to address some things because we're in a very weird time as a society. And I think months like Ramadan or even Easter, Good Friday, you know, those are times I think we all can come together and respect other people's beliefs, other people's traditions. You know, I'm not Christian, but I still went to Easter brunch. And what I use Easter as is a time to be with my family, to enjoy my family, to take that day, that little time out of Sunday, sit down, eat some pancakes, and enjoy the people around me. Now, when you look at Ramadan, these are people sacrificing food and water. And honestly, from a scientific standpoint, it does aid in enlightenment. And it does aid in killing off dead cells through autophagy. So this is definitely a scientifically valid way of doing what they're trying to do. Okay, I'm not Muslim. I'm not. I'm agnostic. So what I do is I look at all religions and look at the good and the bad of them. I think something like Ramadan is fantastic. I think it shows dedication to a faith. I think it shows something that a lot of us can't do. And to actually take a month, a whole month. Christians, y'all can barely give Good Friday, and even then you're still eating fish. But here's the deal. They give an entire month to fasting. And if that is not adherence and commitment to something, I don't know what is. So I respect it. So all my Muslim friends out there, enjoy your Ramadan. You still can train, you still can eat, you still can drink, just not during those hours. All right? And all you non-Muslims out there, instead of looking in and saying, who would do that? Look at the benefits and the fact that this age-old, centuries-old tradition, is actually something that now has scientific backing to its benefits. They were ahead of their time. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe. And hey, all the best this Ramadan. And that's not a game.